Could there be a terrifying creature lurking beneath the waves of our oceans? No, we're not talking about the Loch Ness Monster or the Megalodon, but rather a creature that you may not have heard of before, the Mosasaur. In 2014, a British tourist aboard a cruise ship in the Gulf of Mexico reported spotting an unusual creature, which quickly gained the nickname Carnival Cruise Monster. The description given closely resembled a long-extinct apex predator known as the Mosasaur. If this ancient reptile had managed to survive the mass extinction event that wiped out approximately 75% of all life on Earth, we would undoubtedly know about it. Its survival would have radically transformed both the appearance of our oceans and the way we interact with them. In fact, had the Mosasaur survived, the Megalodon might not even have existed. How could a single animal have such a profound impact? These terrifying marine creatures were actually enormous lizards, similar to land-dwelling Komodo dragons, but they evolved to thrive in the ocean. With a body designed for hunting, they had a terrifying double-hinged jaw, massive teeth, and a tail resembling that of a shark. Some mosasaurs could grow as long as 18 meters, 56 feet, which is 4 meters, 14 feet, longer than an average school bus. They were ruthless predators, consuming anything in their path, from fish to dolphins, sharks, and even other mosasaurs. Fossils of these creatures have been discovered on every continent, including Antarctica, indicating that these lizard-like giants ruled the oceans during the Cretaceous period. However, not all mosasaurs were massive. Some species were as small as 1 meter, 3 feet, in length. So, how did these once small creatures evolve into such fearsome predators? Their ancestors were more like the marine iguanas seen today in the Galapagos Islands. Around 90 million years ago, these ancient lizards began to venture into the ocean to hunt for food, initially staying near the shore. Over time, their evolution allowed them to dominate the open ocean. Their powerful tail vertebrae enabled them to become efficient and swift swimmers, allowing them to travel farther from the coast. They also stayed close to the surface, as they, like dolphins and whales, needed to surface for air. Within just 27 million years, the mosasaur had evolved into the fierce predator we associate with creatures like those in Jurassic Park. However, despite the exaggerated portrayal in the film, even the real mosasaur was still a dangerous force of nature. If this predator were alive today, it would significantly alter the balance of marine life. The presence of the mosasaur in our seas would make it impossible for many of the species we know today to survive. Fish, mammals, and other creatures would have to evolve new strategies to avoid becoming prey. One theory in ecology suggests that predators play a key role in driving evolution by forcing prey to adapt quickly. A 2007 study confirmed that the diversity of marine life over the last several hundred million years is closely linked to predator-prey interactions. If the mosasaur still roamed the oceans, we might see an even more diverse marine ecosystem than we do today. But what would this mean for us? A creature of this size would certainly make our oceans much more perilous for humans. Our boats would need to be much larger, as small vessels like fishing boats and sailboats would stand little chance against the mosasaur's size and power. Activities such as sailing, fishing, and even swimming or surfing would become life-threatening endeavors. In fact, perhaps the story of Moby Dick would be rewritten to feature a menacing mosasaur instead of a whale. Fortunately, the mosasaur is no longer with us, and its extinction has allowed our oceans to develop as they have today. But if the mosasaur had survived, who knows what other creatures might still be with us? Imagine pterodactyls soaring above as well. The survival of the mosasaur would have undoubtedly reshaped not only the marine environment but also the course of evolutionary history. Imagine a world where large marine reptiles dominate the seas, leaving little room for smaller fish or mammals to thrive. In such an environment, only the strongest, fastest, and most adaptable creatures would survive, leading to an entirely different ecosystem than the one we are familiar with today. In this alternate reality, the dynamics between species would be dramatically altered. Many of the smaller marine species that have flourished in the absence of such apex predators might not have had the opportunity to evolve into the diverse array of creatures we now see in our oceans. Instead, we might witness the rise of different species altogether, ones that have developed unique traits to evade the mosasaur's predatory prowess. Perhaps fish would grow larger or develop new defensive mechanisms, and marine mammals might evolve faster swimming speeds or enhanced communication to warn each other of approaching danger. In terms of human interaction with the ocean, life would have been far more challenging. The development of coastal settlements and maritime industries might have been stunted by the ever-present threat of such a dangerous predator. Fishing industries, which depend on relatively calm and safe waters, would likely have been limited to larger, more heavily protected vessels. Navigating the seas would have been a perilous task, with travelers constantly at risk of encountering the mosasaur in the open waters. Additionally, the cultural and historical impact would have been profound. Myths and legends surrounding the sea might be filled with stories of monstrous reptiles, much like how today's tales are often filled with fearsome sharks or massive whales. The fear of such a creature could have shaped coastal societies in ways that are hard to predict. The mosasaur might have become a symbol of both awe and terror in ancient cultures, influencing everything from art to religion, much like other powerful creatures have done throughout history. If the mosasaur survived into modern times, the landscape of ocean exploration and conservation would also look very different. Marine biologists and oceanographers might focus their studies on tracking and understanding the behavior of these massive reptiles, learning how they interact with other species in their territory. Conservation efforts would need to take into account the existence of such an apex predator, balancing the protection of the mosasaur with that of other marine species.